Y'all, the Morphe bankruptcy case is over. Okay, so we have the conclusion of the Morphe Forma Jaclyn Cosmetics bankruptcy case. We know what happened and it is done. I have all of the details of what happened in the end. Who was Jaclyn Cosmetics sold to? Who was Morphe sold to? What happened? How much did they buy it for? And what was going on with over 100 influencers in the background of this case? And then, oh my goodness, over in the UK, Sephora just launched and there was a plot to sabotage the opening by the CEO of a competitive brand. He admitted to it. He told us everything that he did and he seems super proud of it, strangely enough. And then when we get into PR purchase product of the week, a brand new palette launched that I have on my face today, and it is how I created this lip combo, and it's an indie brand and I cannot wait to share with you what this palette is. So hang tight. We are jumping into all of it right about now. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to What's Up in Makeup, where we talk about everything that is happening in the beauty space right now, so you don't have to search for it. I've got everything for you here. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the news and what's happening in future episodes. With that being said, let's start with the biggest news of the week, the Morphe Forma Jaclyn Cosmetics bankruptcy case that y'all have been dedicated to following along with over the past couple of months since the middle of January of 2023. All of the companies that are under the Forma brand's umbrella, that does include Morphe and Jaclyn Cosmetics, Morphe 2, Playa Hair Care, all of them have now been sold to a couple of the lenders. They were sold, but they were, I guess it's more acquired, because the thing is that Forma actually owed Cerberus Capital Management and Jefferies Finance LLC, no relation to Jeffree Star. They owed them more than what the purchase price is. They acquired the companies for $690 million, but the debt owed to these brands was even more than that. So it was kind of a trade-off for debt forgiveness. These companies were not getting their money no matter what. So at least now they get stuff that they may be able to turn into money. And that's kind of what they're hoping. Unfortunately, for a lot of people that are involved with Morphe and Forma and Jaclyn Cosmetics and the other companies, including Jaclyn Hill, unfortunately for her, it seems like a lot of people are not going to get paid the money that they are owed. Altogether, there's about $34 million to play with to pay off people that are owed money. Unfortunately, Morphe owes almost $1 billion. So it's a lot of people aren't getting paid. And it seems like, I am not a lawyer, but it seems like that specifically includes about 142 influencers that were not paid due to royalties. This does include names that you may be familiar with, like Amanda Ensing, Bretman Rock, Carly Bible, Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio, Gabriel Zamora, Kathleen Fuentes, also known as Kathleen Lights, Makeup Shayla, and Patrick Starr. Thankfully, they are all owed less than $100, at least according to what they're saying in the paperwork. People that were owed more money than that are Nikki DeJager, also known as Nikki Tutorials. She was owed about $1,100. Manuel Gutierrez III also owed a lot of money, $32,000 for him. Maddie Ziegler, about $19,000. That was, I believe, due to their collab. But these have to go super way back, because Melissa Raymond is listed on here. And if you were not around back in like 2015, 2016, Melissa Raymond was a pretty popular beauty influencer. She was very famous for kind of her off-the-cuff comments. She did not edit at all. She was very well loved. And she stopped posting on the platform in like 2017, something like that. But it turns out they owe her about $70. So this does go back a long time where they weren't paying people. So who knows when these debts were accumulated from. But the biggest loser in all of this seems to be Jaclyn Hill. Just from Morphe, not Jaclyn Cosmetics, but just from Morphe, it looks like Jaclyn is listed as being owed $905,000 $100,000 just from Morphe. But on top of that, from Jaclyn Cosmetics for her agreement with them, because she is not the owner of Jaclyn Cosmetics, she is just a licensor. From that deal, she is owed $1.1 million in royalties. So that adds up to about $2 million that it seems like Jaclyn Hill is not going to get. We talked about this in the very beginning about James Charles and Jeffree Star and how they played into this. Their names are still listed as disputed, contingent, all of these different things that basically Morphe says that they don't owe them the money for various reasons, but they had to list them anyway. So James Charles, whose real name is James Dickinson, he has said this publicly, so it is public information what his real last name is. He is still listed on there as a debt, an unsecured debt of $2.1 million. This is still listed as disputed. The debt to Jeffree Star is still listed as about $1.4 million, listed as disputed and contingent. But along with all of the influencers, there are also a lot of brands that are losing out on tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what I imagine this is product that was sold through the Morphe stores on the Morphe website that Morphe just took the money and spent it on something else instead of paying the companies for the product and the money that they earn from selling through Morphe. These companies are listed as a reason for owing as trade, and some of those companies are Beauty Bakery, Danessa Myricks, Nikita Dragun's Dragun Beauty, Grande Cosmetics, Lily Lashes, Nabla, P. Louise, Rare Beauty, Lunar Beauty, and Suva Beauty. And Suva Beauty seems to be the one that's going to be hit the hardest if they don't get paid. They're owed a whopping $398,000. All of the brands are owed at least $15,000 and fall within that range. This one, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this. I'm very curious about it. There have been gift cards issued for the various brands. I believe this is just for Morphe, though, if I read it correctly. $830,000 worth of gift cards. Hopefully those will still work, will still be able to be used when it's taken over by the new company. But the gift cards are listed as debt owed. I also found this very fascinating. There are apparently 19 different claimants for the unsecured debt that are claimants that are under litigation, either current litigation or past litigation. To be fair, most of them seem to be from malls for unpaid rent. It also includes Shelby Wild, who was the founder of Playa Hair Care. She is listed under here as a current litigation. There's also the people who had brought the class action lawsuit against Morphe for their inherently dangerous pigments, which we've talked about that a lot of times. I don't personally think they're inherently dangerous. I think the lawsuit is crap, but they're listed. This settlement, this one is very interesting, and I did not know about this until just now. So it is a settlement with a woman named Belen Hernandez against Morphe Inc. and Morphe LLC. It started back in April of 2019. This lawsuit included all current, former non-exempt retail employees who worked for the defendants in California between April 30th of 2015 and July 14th of 2022. The claim was for failure to do so many things, basically treating their workers like crap, not paying overtime, not paying minimum wages, not providing meal and rest periods, paying timely wages, providing wage statements, and failing to reimburse for business expenses. This lawsuit was settled for $750,000. And the court documents show that $428,000 will be distributed to any of the class members, so anybody that this applied to that didn't opt out of it before the date that they had to opt out of it for. Belen herself is getting an extra bonus for bringing this to light and doing all the legwork for it. She's getting $7,500 as a service award for bringing this to litigation and getting money for all the employees that were treated badly. And then another lawsuit popped up, and I will tell you, I know nothing beyond the fact that this exists. I looked and I couldn't find anything. It is ongoing litigation involving Morphe LLC and Laura Lee. There's nothing listed as far as how much she's owed specifically for that, but they do say that she is owed royalties of $1,825. I have a feeling it's not related to that. It must be related to something else. So yeah, no idea what that litigation is about or whether it will continue, but if I hear anything, I will let you know. Oxygen Development, the lab that created Jaclyn Hill's hairy, contaminated lipsticks, is still listed under Morphe as being owed that $10.70. But remember, they filed in the bankruptcy case like, no, you owe us more than $10. That has now been transferred as debt owed by Jaclyn Cosmetics specifically, and it has it listed at their about $167,000. In the last court hearing, I believe it was March 21st, they talked about how there was about $1.25 million to distribute out for the unsecured creditors. Just to give you a screwed analysis here, the total unsecured claims for Morphe alone is about $70 million. Forma's unsecured claims are about $28 million, and Jaclyn Cosmetics' unsecured claims are about $19 million, I should say, not 20, $19 million. So for just those three brands alone, it's about $117 million that they owe, and they have $1.25 million to split among those people. So I don't know who's actually getting paid. That may come out at a later date, but most people, it seems like, are going to be screwed if I'm reading this correctly. If you're curious, Morphe and Jaclyn Cosmetics' stance on this and what they're telling customers, if you go to either of their websites, they've changed their FAQ to talk about how the companies are being purchased by new owners or being acquired by new owners. And honestly, it's super generic. It's like, you know, we have new owners, but products are still going to be available and they're going to be amazing and like all of that stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But before we let this go, I had this crazy idea. I was driving to go pick up Phoenix from volleyball practice, and I was like, you know what would be really funny is if I asked ChatGPT to write a song for me and I played it on the ukulele for you. And I was like, that would be so epic. And I did it. And then I realized that I am definitely not a good enough ukulele player to play for you, unfortunately. Even though I've been playing for many, many years, I really don't feel like I'm very good at it. So instead, I asked ChatGPT to write you a poem to kind of wrap up this whole story, and it is freaking gold. Allow me to read it for you. Bankrupt Beauty, The Fall of Former Brands by ChatGPT. A tale of beauty tainted with pain. Former brands filed for bankruptcy in vain. Morphe and Jaclyn Cosmetics under their wing also fell into ruin, unable to sing. Ariana Grande's REM Beauty in despair, their licensing agreement with Forma unfair. With the news of their bankruptcy a desperate plea, she called on her lawyers to save her company. But a twist in the tale with Jaclyn's name. No part of her cosmetics owned the fame. Forma owned it all, their lipstick launch in shambles. Customers refunded with hair and contaminants in samples. Oxygen Development, the manufacturer, unpaid, sold tainted cosmetics. Yet in business, they stayed. Another brand owned by Forma, Playa Hair Care. Shelby Wild filed a lawsuit for promises they didn't bear. Former brand sold for $690 million to two lenders. In exchange for debt relief, their bankruptcy surrender. Ariana may get the rights to REM, a glimmer of hope, but Morphe and Jaclyn Cosmetics now under new scope. In a competitive marketplace, will they survive? Where celebrity to influencer brands are losing their drive? Only time will tell the fate of these brands, a lesson to be learned for all in beauty lands. ChatGPT, I swear, this is all, it's scary, but also fabulous. Let's move on to other stuff. Let's talk about L'Oreal. Now, my question for you is, when you see a product in the store and you see that it says like in the title, like L'Oreal Paris or whatever, like someplace, you know, Tokyo or whatever, do you assume that that is where the product is made? That was the question that was set before a judge, specifically with L'Oreal Paris, because L'Oreal products are not made in Paris. They're not even made in France. A lot of them of them are made in Arkansas in the US and other places in the US and Canada. And the judge decided that no, it does not create customer confusion, that it's not an element in how customers make decisions about what they purchase. And I thought that was kind of weird because honestly, like I was for the plaintiffs in this. I really think that, you know, it's a little bit misleading to see Paris on something when Paris isn't even, like, it's just the name of the brand. It's not actually made there, but I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. A few weeks ago, we had a story about Kathleen Lights Lacquer versus the nail polish brand Zoya. They're mostly sold in salons, but you can also get them in stores. So Zoya had sued Kathleen Lights Lacquer for using female names as their nail polish names because that's what Zoya does. It was names like Mia, Lucy, Chloe, Julia, and they went to court for it. And it looked like they settled without having to go through the entire court process, and Lights Lacquer ended up taking the names off of their polishes and renaming all of them. And there was a debate in the comments, and this is why I love making these videos and having conversation about it, because it was things I hadn't really thought about, and there were people that were talking about, well, you shouldn't trademark names at all, and trademarking names for shades is absolutely ridiculous, and just because you name a shade something doesn't mean that other people can't name their shade something and all of that. But then there was the argument that celebrities often trademark their children's names for future products. And I'm so curious to hear your take on this because Kim Kardashian has trademarked Northwest's name for potentially a skincare line, maybe some fragrance products, maybe some hair care products. She's also opened it to possibly having a toy line for her. And I'm wondering if you see this as the same thing, because personally, I don't see it as the same thing. I feel like a name of a brand is different than the name of a shade. Like, I feel like a shade is just like, if you're not known for that shade, if that's not your signature shade, like Urban Decay Naked products, right? Like, everybody knows Naked is associated with Urban Decay. Like, if the brand is associated with this name and that's how they're known, yeah, I get that for a shade. But as far as like other like common names, I don't see that as being a problem specifically for a shade. But when it comes to a brand name, I kind of feel like that should be allowed to be trademarked, especially a name like Northwest, because Northwest is a direction typically and not typically a human being. When you say Northwest, you know this, they're talking about this one particular person, and it's Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's daughter. You're not talking about anybody else. So like, I get that. It's not like naming something Julia when there's like a bazillion Julias out there. It's the whole brand name. So I do feel like Kim should be trademarking her kid's name if that's a direction she wants to go in. But then the other debate as far as Kim, starting a line with her kid is, you should let kids be kids. You should not push her into business at such a young age, that it's exploitative, that it's just not good parenting to do that. But my question would be to that is, what if North really wants to do this? What if North is excited about it? She has two entrepreneur parents. What if she really wants to do this? Should her parents just say, no, you're too young to do businessy stuff? I mean, I personally feel like it's a good head start for her to learn the business end of things while she's so young. She has a huge jump and an advantage on other kids her age who aren't learning these kinds of things. I feel like it's a good skill for her to know, even at 9 years old. It'd be one thing if Kim was pushing her into this and she didn't want to do it. I mean, we were never going to know. We're not going to know how North feels about it. Feels like this is something that North wants, even though I don't really have evidence of that. And if that's the case, I think that it's fantastic, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen next. Is all fair in business and makeup? That is the question right now with this whole Sephora UK launch. They launched, but the owner of Boots tried to sabotage it, and he straight up admitted that he tried to do it. He was at an industry event called Retail Week Live, and he was quoted as saying, quote, by using one simple rule in the nicest way possible, if your competitors are struggling, you put the boot in. And then he went on to say that his whole team at the Westfield location where Sephora was launching was on board with this, trying to sabotage the launch. They put up a huge billboard at the front of the mall. It said your #1 destination for beauty and said Boots on it. They also threw a big launch party on the same day that Sephora launched, trying to get customers to come into their store instead of going over to Sephora. Seb was also quoted as saying, "The general message that was going around my store was up your Sephora," and that felt very, very good. Sylvie Moreau, who is the president of Sephora Europe and the Middle East, did an interview with Cosmetic Business about Sephora's return to the UK. And this is what she said. She described British retail as not for the faint-hearted. And ever the diplomat, she continued with, "The UK has some of the most engaged, experienced consumers in the world. It's a big battleground, so we come with humility." I honestly don't know how I feel about this because, like, on one hand, yeah, it's business, but at the same time, like, why are you being so cruddy? As a human being, I think that it's crap and I think Seb's kind of a jerk, but at the same time, like, I get it. In business, things are a little bit different. It's not personal, it's business, all of that, but I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. And for our final story, I've had a lot of people asking about this, so I thought that I would end on this, and it's the Back to MAC program that has been going on at MAC since the 1990s. They have changed the program starting this past week, and the biggest change that they've made is that previously you could take your MAC empties, send them back to MAC, bring them back into the store, 6 of them would grant you a free product, either a lipstick or an eyeshadow. They have discontinued the free product that you get back. A spokesperson for the company explained this saying, quote, "We shifted the free product incentive to investments that are making a real impact in reducing plastic waste." So instead of rewarding the customer, they said that they're, rerouting that money that they would use for that to reducing plastic waste and trying to help the planet. They have a new partnership with a company called Close the Loop North America, where all of the MAC empties will be processed in the US instead of shipped out. They're now accepting more types of products. That includes eyeshadow, foundation, and skincare packaging, and you can also now mail them in. I don't know why I thought you could always mail them in, but apparently you had to bring them back to the store, and now you can mail them in. Or you could bring them back into the store. Either way, it's your choice. The other thing I thought was that I thought that they were cleaning the packaging and then reusing it, but that's not what they're doing. They're actually recycling it. And then there are pieces of the products that can't be recycled, and they are converting any remaining waste to energy using their waste to energy technology, providing a zero waste to landfill solution. So I don't really understand what all of that means, but I know that a lot of you were upset about not being able to get the free product for returning the 6 products to MAC. I don't know. I feel like, if you're buying 6 products from MAC, that they're making enough overhead that they can give you 1 product in return, or like maybe make it like a refill system or somehow. I don't know. I just feel like it's been around for so long, and it just really sucks that they've discontinued it, but at least they're trying to do something for the planet. There just really isn't a benefit to the customer as far as free product anymore. I am currently filming this video on April Fool's Day, so I hesitated to start the product report with this item because I was a little nervous that Urban Decay was going to come out and be like, "April Fools, it was just a way to collect your email addresses." But I just checked. It is currently 1/19, and I just checked, and it seems like they're not saying it's an April Fool's joke. So we're going to go with it as if it were real, even though I am still skeptical. Until the end of the day, I will still remain skeptical. It is the Urban Decay All-Nighter Lube Wet All-Nighter. If any cosmetic brand was going to do this, it was going to be Urban Decay. And, I feel like that there is such a stigma against sexual wellness and sexual health that I don't hate this. I genuinely don't. I mean, there's skincare products coming out from makeup companies all over the place. Why not something like this, especially from Urban Decay? I would imagine that this will follow with other sexual wellness products. And I honestly don't think it's a terrible idea. I really don't. Another thing I do not think is a terrible idea, which is completely on a different end, is the e.l.f. collaboration with American Eagle that launched this past week. They teamed up for a denim-inspired makeup and skincare collection. It is similar to like the Dunkin' collab they did and the Chipotle collab, but this is the first time they've collabed with a clothing company. There is the Denim Days eyeshadow palette at $16. The Perfect Pit, PH It. I don't know how they want me to pronounce that. It's a lip balm. It's $8. It's blue, and you put it on, and it turns pink. Super cute. And then the Get Cheeky Clay Mask, $11. They say you can use it on either pair of your cheeks. I think that's kind of weird. There was also a vault where you could get everything for $50, and that did come with a denim beauty bag, but last time I checked, that was sold out. It is a really cute collection, I have to admit. They're really good at these collabs. As far as indie brands go, Sugar Drizzle Polish is launching the Don't Forget to Smile palette. It does launch today at 12 EST, $36, and they are 12 sparkly duochromes. 10% of profits for this palette are going to 4 different women's charities. They're dividing them up evenly. And in the intro, I mentioned an eyeshadow palette from an indie brand. They were kind enough to send this over in PR. This is the Arttitude Cosmetics Maneater palette. The cost of the palette alone is about £28, which is about $34.50 USD, $46.75 Canadian, or $51.50 Australian. And there are some bundles available with brushes if you're interested in that. But we're going to get more into this in PR Purchase Product of the Week, and I'll show you the inside, talk about what's on my eyes today, what's on my lips today, because it's all from this palette. Florence By Mills launched some new eye products, and then there is one that is coming very soon. Prices range from $14 to $16. The Up a Notch Volumizing Mascara, and it seems like everybody is coming out with some kind of eyeshadow stick. Florence By Mills launched their Eye Candy eyeshadow stick. They say it is a creamy, soft, smudge-proof, waterproof eyeshadow that wears up to 12 hours, and it does come in 6 shades. Then the See You Later By Phase Eye Makeup Remover. It is a cleanser that removes waterproof and long-lasting makeup. Now, I remember Neutrogena having one like this where it's got like the two, I think it was Neutrogena, that has like the 2 different things, and it looks really cool because it's like separated and it looks really neat. I think that's so smart to market it to Gen Z who've probably never seen anything like this before. From what I remember, it worked okay, the one from Neutrogena that I used years ago. Hopefully this one works pretty well. And then launching in April, we have the On Your Mark dual-ended eyeliner. It is a dual-ended semi-matte bold black liquid eyeliner for precision lining and a ballpoint tip. So we will see how that goes. That sounds interesting. Every year, Melt seems to come out with a palette for $420, and they've announced the one that is coming out this year. It is the Electrip collection with the eyeshadow palette and then 3 Electrip lip paints. More info will be coming as it gets closer to launch. They're slowly releasing the information about it. Uoma Beauty launched some really beautiful blushes this past week. They're called the Double Take Skin Perfecting Blush Duo. 6 shade duos available. They are $33 each. I love the packaging on these. They're so, so pretty, and I feel like the color pairings that they did really make sense, and they just look beautiful. Dose of Colors collab with makeup artist Orpha for 2 lip kits dedicated to the 90s and the 2000s. It's a lipstick, a lip liner, and a lip gloss. They're both nude colors. One's just a little bit lighter than the other. They're both kind of peachy. And then Kylie Cosmetics is dropping liquid eyeshadows on the 6th of April. 5 nude shades there. Moving over to Sephora, lots of buzz about the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Tip Tinted Lip Oil. $20, 8 shades available there. They say that is a gel to oil lip tint that hydrates and nourishes with a soft pinch of dewy color that stays comfortable, never sticky all day. I'm thinking about purchasing one of these just to try it out and see what it's like. Nice to see Kulfi coming out with another product. I remember when they were just like a 1 product brand. They're slowly releasing new products to their line. Love that for them. This is the Zari Eyes Long Lasting Crease-Proof Cream Shadow. 5 shades there, 3 shimmers and 2 metallic. They are $30 each. They say it's a highly pigmented, long-lasting cream to powder eyeshadow with a crease-proof formula that won't budge. Cream shadows are freaking everywhere right now. Laura Mercier just launched their Real Flawless Luminous Perfecting Pressed Powder, $48, only 4 shades there. They say it's a pressed finishing powder that enhances the look of skin and makeup with a natural luminous finish, instantly adding dimension and enlivening skin. I mean, it's pretty, but what stands out about this? What makes it different? I don't know. We'll just have to wait for reviews to see. And then the last thing that just launched at Sephora that I want to mention is the NARS Afterglow Sensual Shine Hydrating Lipstick. This does come in 10 shades, $32 each. They say it is a color meets care hybrid lipstick that has dimensional shine and 8-hour hydration. I mean, NARS is known for the lipstick formulas, so hopefully this one is good as well. And then coming soon to Sephora, quite a few products. We have the Kosas DreamBeam Moisturizing Mineral Sunscreen SPF 40 for $40. Available exclusively on the app April 5th and other platforms April 6th. They say it's created specifically as a makeup base, and it is a mineral sunscreen with ceramides and peptides. It is tinted, and they say that the tint is there to counteract the white cast, but I'm curious how that's going to work for people that aren't that color. Now this product, This one looks cool. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Twist and Light 24-Hour Luminous Finishing Powder. It's coming April 4th. Check this out. There's 4 shade options. They're $45 each. They say it's a 3-in-1 ultra fine loose finishing powder that blurs, color corrects, and illuminates your complexion while delivering radiance and blurring. Look at this packaging. That is so cool. I have never seen anything like this. You probably have, because nothing is new in the makeup space. But if you've seen something like this, I would love to know, because I've never seen anything like this. I love how it keeps the powder down in that little hole, because a lot of the problem with loose powders like that is that they freaking fly everywhere and they make a huge mess. So I love that it's like in the cavity and it like stays down there and you just put your brush down there to like get it out. I love that. That looks so cool. Merit is about to launch the Shade Slick Gelee Sheer Tinted Lip Oil, 4 shades, coming on April 4th, $24. A high shine sheer wash of color infused with plant-derived squalane and quinoa seed oil for healthy lips all day long. Again, it's like, okay, sure. Like, what stands out about this? I have no idea. Maybe the bubble that's in the photo. I don't know. Couldn't they make the doe foot more interesting, or like make it a light flavor or something? You know what I mean? Like, make it something. I guess maybe a flavor would cheapen it, right? It would kind of make it feel a little more drugstore, but I don't know. It just feels like very few brands are able to come up with new ideas, and I feel like this is just kind of like, okay, all right. Over at Ulta, this is the second week in a row that not a whole lot's happening over there. We have the Fenty Hella Thick Volumizing Mascara that launched last week everywhere else. It's now at Ulta. And then Morphe launched a palette. Let us give them a break, because they're going through a lot right now, okay? But it looks like Makeup Revolution in Too Faced packaging. Like, it looks bad to me. Maybe I'm biased. I think I'm biased. But it just does it look cheap to you? Like, on the Ulta website, they don't even have a picture of the outside of it. I had to go to the Morphe Instagram to find out what the outside of it looked like. Oh no. They're going through a lot right now though, so I should be nicer to them, shouldn't I? Maybe. Maybe not. All right, my friend, PR purchase product of the week. I cannot wait to share this with you. Thank you to Arttitude for sending this over. This is their brand new Maneater Untamed palette. Look at this. I will say that the green did come broken, but I was able to press it in and it's fine. It's just a little bit messy and I haven't look, there we go. I can clean it up a little bit. There we go. Look at that. It's so pretty. This is the shade that knocked me out that I have on my outer corner today. The shade right here called Kingdom. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. Love it. I'm going to put my finger fully in that Endangered shade, and then we'll do one more of these duochrome guys. Let's do Claws, because that's what I have on my inner corner. Look at these babies. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Check it out. Bam. Oh, so pretty. I'm going to swatch some of the matte shades that I have on my eyes today. I'm going to swatch Camouflage and Beast and Carnivore and Feline. Those are the ones that I mostly use today. That's on the fingers. Bam. Oh, that was a terrible swatch. I don't normally swatch like that, I guess, for a reason. There we go. But you get the idea. They're just super uber pigmented, but not so pigmented that they don't move and don't blend. I was actually really surprised how my crease came together today, because I have all of these like green and like red shades, and you'd think that they would come together in a mess, but they don't. I really, really like it a lot. And then on my lips today, my friends, I used my Pleasing mixing medium that I bought, that I love. But you can use a regular lip gloss. It's just, I feel like regular lip glosses aren't quite as easy to use, but I use that. And then my lipstick today is the shade Carnivore. That's what's on my lips today. And then I topped it in the middle with a little bit of Claws. Let me just show you. Let me show you how it comes together, because it's fun. I think I'm a little overly amused by this, but bear with me. It's fun. Okay, so we take a little bit of this and put that there. And then I'm going to dip my finger in Carnivore. And then, bam. Look at this. Look how beautiful this lipstick is. It's so gorgeous. And then I'm going to make another glob so you can see the Claws shade. And then that is the Claws shade, all glossy. So I just kind of popped that on the center of my lips. And oh, I love this color so much. I went up and I showed my husband and I was like, I look like a boss bitch right now, don't I? And he was like, it does look good on you. I was like, yes, I know. And it takes a lot for me to brag about like something that's on my face. I'm gaining a little more confidence recently in different things. And this lipstick really It's amazing. Beyond that, as my highlighter today, was kind enough to send over their Spirit Wild Super Shock highlighter from the Legend of Korra collection. This is what it looks like in the pan, and then swirled together, it looks like this. And I'm just gonna swatch it above my watch here so you can see what it looks like. It's really pretty. Nothing real super stand out about it, but it's very pretty. And then I also wanted to mention, after I gave Wet n Wild a bunch of for coming out with a Sesame Street collection, they sent it over, and I wanted to mention the Tickle Me Elmo lip gloss specifically, even though I'm not wearing it today, because we've been talking about the Too Faced lip liners and how they are so ridiculously spicy. Like, it's like you can't even, especially if you top it with a lip gloss, it's just out of freaking control how uncomfortable they are. This is not like that. This has like a mild tingle to it, but it's not bad. I've like swatched everywhere, so let me just swatch here so you can see. It just got a little bit of a red tint to it. It's a nice gloss. It smells a little cherry-y, but it's very, very mild, and it's just a nice gloss, so I figured I would mention it since they were kind enough to send it over, and I am enjoying it so far. I let my kids try it out, and they both really enjoyed wearing it as well, and just the fact that it's Tickle Me Elmo, like, do y'all remember the Christmas that Tickle Me Elmo was the thing? That was the thing. So nostalgia, and it's also a nice lip gloss. Notable sales this week, some of them carrying over from last week. We have the It Cosmetics 25% off site-wide for their friends and family sale. We also have the Elemis Skincare of Your Dreams sale. It's 30% off site-wide. If you spend $150 or more after the discount, you'll also get a 7-piece gift set with purchase, and it does look like a really nice gift set. Then we have the Fenty 25% off site-wide, and then just a reminder that Sephora is having their spring savings event that does start on April 14th for Rouge, and then April 18th for VIB and for Beauty Insiders. Rouge gets the usual 20%, VIB gets the 15%, Beauty Insiders get the 10%, and they're also continuing with the Sephora collection sale for the entire amount of time that the sale is going on. It's 30% off of everything from Sephora collection, and the sale does end on April 24th. We have made it to the artist shout out of the week. Let me introduce you to Ash from Caked Face Ash. Oh my gosh, so freaking gorgeous. Let's go into her first look. This was her Valentine's Day look that she has pinned to the top of her profile. It is called Lovey Dovey Mood, and I love it so much. I don't think I've ever seen a doily makeup look, because I would imagine that it's so easy to mess this up. Like, how does this even exist? And then the plaid, besides the doily, the plaid, and then the lashes that she chose just set it off so nicely. Just, oh my gosh, so freaking cute. Absolute perfection. This is definitely my favorite look on her whole page. Now, this is the second look. I want to show you this one. This one's so cool too, though. The newest look that she created is called Flower Power. It is just so pretty. I mean, the blend of the eyeshadow, absolute perfection. Flowers, adorable, not overdone, just the perfect complement to the entire look. And of course, I also love the lip color that she chose. Really, really gorgeous. And then finally, she made this one for the Juvia's Place Candy Shop collection, and she calls it Peppermint Swirl Dream. She could have gone really sharp and harsh with those swirls, but she didn't, and I love it that way. I love that she left it soft, and I also love that she chose to do the different colors on each eye. The angles of the swirls are just perfectly placed, and I love how the white dots complement the look rather than take away from it. They could have easily been excessive and distracting, but I think that they're really beautiful and really complement the whole look. I would have been scared to put those in thinking that it would distract, but it really doesn't. She did a fantastic job. I just followed Ash. I will leave her Instagram link down below in case you'd like to go check her out and follow her. So much amazing art over there. I highly recommend you go check her out. And that, my friend, was What's Up in Makeup this week. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, as always, thank you to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook hunters. Their names are scrolling below me. Thank you so much for all of your submissions to the group this week to make sure I didn't miss anything. I appreciate you so much. Before I get into chat time for today, no What's Up in Makeup or live chat next week. It is the Easter holiday. I will not be around, so I cannot do that. I cannot do all of the things, but we will be back the following week. Before I I go though, we are having chat today at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully you can hang out and enjoy, chat with us. I did start an official What's Up in Makeup live chat podcast playlist. You will be able to find that link down in the video description. I will put it down there for you so that you can either watch or listen to live chat. I always make sure that you're able to listen and do other things. But if you're like doing laundry or you're doing dishes or have a long drive, it's a great thing to listen to kill time, have a couple of laughs, have some community, maybe learn some things from me or the community. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to listen to. And I hope that if you're listening to it that you are enjoying it, because I do so much love doing live chat. But thank you again so much for watching What's Up in Makeup. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It really does help me out a lot. And if you're not ready to go, YouTube should be recommending a couple videos for you right over here to watch, including last week's episode of What's Up in Makeup. In case you missed it, top one YouTube is picking for you based on your viewing history. But if you do need to go, it is no problem at all. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video in about 2 weeks. See you soon. Bye.